It is back to the protests that have been piling up, and we've been talking about them all around the country. There's a new travel warning for people traveling to the U.S. We see these all the time for United States citizens going abroad, but now countries, Bahrain, Bahamas, UAE, New Zealand, they have warnings for people coming in here. Mark Serrano joins us. This is an interesting turn of events. Mark, overreaction, or what do you make of it?
It is. You know, I think it's an understandable reaction, actually, Connell, because these countries are reacting to sort of the same mischaracterization of the threat level in the U.S. That people are domestically. And that's created, sort of demagoguing and fear-mongering that's fomented by the political left and the mainstream news media. They are overstating the threat level that exists in the U.S. So I understand it. I don't blame these countries for doing that and protecting their citizens based on the reaction.
The reporting that's inaccurate in your view, or is giving a slanted view of what's really going on.
Absolutely. And, you know, look, this is the Obama doctrine at work. You know, Obama talks about economic growth that he's responsible for, but then he still fans the flames of discontent, you know, across the country based on incidents that took place last week. It's imbalanced and it's fear-mongering. And so, you know, it's unusual that countries would issue any sort of warning for the U.S. It's unfounded. I mean, you know, last year alone, the U.S. had $217 billion in tourism to the U.S. from foreigners. Nothing's going to change that. There's plenty of great places to go in the U.S., even if you don't go into urban centers where there may be protests or demonstrations. And most of that money is coming from Canada and Mexico anyhow, and not these countries.
Speaking of like an urban like this, well, I was going to ask you about Cleveland next week, which is on a lot of people's minds, but even New York, here we are. I think it's been 5 nights in a row there have been protesters in the streets of this city, and there are always a lot, and there still are a lot of tourists here in the summer. So it would be unsettling, I'm sure, to some of those people to come in and see that as opposed to what they'd expect to be doing when they go see the sights, you know?
Absolutely, but who do we rely on, you know, to keep tourists safe but the cops?
Of course.
You know, and the NYPD, my old man was a New York City cop long ago, and they're as proud today as they were back in his day. And look, you know, take a look at the comparison. You know, who does the U.S. issue warnings to travelers about? Laos, Iraq, Iran, you know, Bangladesh? These countries, you know, where there is a true, consistent, constant threat of terrorism, not here in the USA.
Yeah, it is amazing, though, to see some of these countries, and because we just don't see it. But, Mark, thanks. Good to see you.